Thank you all for staying on a long night. We got it done. We had the requisite number of votes to move this process along, and now passing the budget resolution in the House, it will go to the Senate. This is the first important step in opening up the reconciliation process. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us, but we are going to deliver the America First agenda. We're going to deliver all of it, not just parts of it, and this was the first step in that process. So grateful to my colleagues who worked so hard to get us here, and to all the leaders of the chairs of the committees of jurisdiction. Chairman Arrington did a great job on the Budget Committee, and Chairman Smith on Ways and Means, and all of our colleagues who worked on this. So a lot of work yet to be done, but we're going to celebrate tonight, and we'll roll up our sleeves and get right back at it in the morning. Thank you so much.
What were the promises that you made? What were the promises you made?
Have you spoken today with the House Republican holdouts who said they would not be supporting the budget resolution?
Well, I'm not involved in that. They know what I want, and the Senate knows what I want too. And the Senate's got a bill that's very strong, having to do with the taxes, because the taxes is what's bringing all these companies in. So, and without it, by the way, you'd have to double your own taxes. Everybody would be doubled up, and you'd have the biggest tax increase ever. So the House has a bill and the Senate has a bill, and I'm looking at them both, and I'll make decisions. But I don't know where they are in the vote. I know the Senate's doing very well, and the House is doing very well, but each one of them has things that I like. So we'll see if we can come together.
They convinced me in there. I'm a no.
Is there anything?
Look what, let me, their own numbers. If the Republican plan passes under the rosiest assumptions, which aren't even true, we're going to add $328 billion to the deficit this year. We're going to add $295 billion to the deficit the year after that, and $242 billion to the deficit after that, under the rosiest assumptions. Why would I vote for that? And they're trying to comfort some of the more moderate members and say, oh no, we're not doing anything to Medicaid with this bill.
Now what? That's probably the big question.
So
now what? There's a vote.
I feel like we were elected. Who disagrees with work requirements for single able-bodied recipients of Medicaid? Like, that's a 70-30, maybe 90-10 issue in America, and they're afraid to put that in writing? Give me a break.
Currently, I'm a no. There's about 5 of us that are no. I'm not sure why we're going for this vote right now. I'd love to, the 5 of us would love to. It seems that we've all kind of not been included in some of these discussions.
Breaking news, Senate Bill 502 was just passed. An executive order was signed renaming Kentucky as Kenfucky. Yeah, that's right. Kentucky has just been renamed Kenfucky. There is only one place that you can have catastrophic flooding, a blizzard, and now spring all within 1 week. Congratulations, Kentucky.
The 2025 budget has passed the House, very narrowly I might add. The Republicans passed it 217 to 213. Thomas Massie voted, it's the only Republican that voted against it, which means that every single Democrat voted against Donald Trump's beautiful spending bill. It's a beautiful bill. They voted against no tax on tips, and they also voted against no tax on overtime. So, party of the workers? I think not. Now they're just the party of the elites. Now it has to go to the House. That's going to be a mess. It was easy to get to the House because Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, he wants one big bill. He wants Trump's one big bill. They passed it. Now it goes to the Senate, and the Senate Majority Leader, what's his name, Thune? He wants 2 separate bills. And so it's going to get very sticky when they try to work that part out. Ugh. Get ready, everyone. But hey, look, the House passed it. It's a beautiful bill. Everyone loves my bills.
Well, folks, the House just passed a bill in Donald Trump's favor. That's right. We got some good news. So all you guys that was worrying about your Social Security being cut and all this old crazy stuff that people was feeding you, check this out. The House just passed a bill that it will be no taxes on tips. There will be no taxes on Social Security, and there will be no taxes on overtime. So needless to say, Donald J. Trump lived up to his word. He lived up to his word. Let's celebrate. So now if you do overtime at work, it will be no taxes. Ooh, woo. And for everybody who was worried about their Social Security, guess what? Guess what? No taxes on your Social Security. That's right. No taxes on your Social Security. Way to go, Donald J. Trump. Keep it rolling, baby.
So the House of Representatives just passed that crazy congressional spending bill that is essentially going to be another tax cut for the rich while also slicing Medicare and food stamps. 217 to 215. Every single Republican, except for one, voted yes, despite the fact that their own constituent did not want this. Because most of the people that use Medicaid, and of course, food stamps, are their own people. These guys use it more than we do. But they had to please their king. They sacrificed the respect and trust of their own constituent to please their king. So now my question to you, my question to the people who picked all of these congressmen and congresswomen, what are you going to do about it? Now, it does have to pass the Senate. I am hearing it is going to be an uphill battle to get past the Senate. I have no faith that the Senate will do the right thing. The Republican Congress is bought and paid for by the Muskrat and Orange Gina. So I feel bad for all the people that are going to suffer from this. And I hope this was a wake-up call to a lot of you that thought this regime was here to help you because you thought you had the complexion for the protection of the collection. But in reality, you might be a white straight male, but you're a poor white straight male. And that makes you no different than us. Stay hopeful. Trust your gut. And maybe this was the wake-up call that they needed to fight back. You're not crazy.
So this just passed. This is breaking news. House Republican spending bill has passed. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security. But the biggest thing that I wanted to point out, and this is what I said earlier, when this comes up for vote, you need to look at who voted against this. So the Republicans, 217, yay. Democrats, nay. 212 of them. These are the individuals that supposedly represent us, right? Think about that once. The Democrats voted against this. I'm really curious to hear what all of you have to say about this. Have a good day.
Well, the Republicans in the House passed their budget bill last night, which makes this kind of a special edition of People in Charge Do Not Care About You. So all of my people who like to do your own research, you have homework. You can go and look up the bill and read through it and tell me, what do you find in there that benefits you? Because honestly, if you're watching my TikToks, you're not one of those people who's making $360,000 a year or more, and therefore your taxes are going up. Now, those people who make more than $360,000, congrats, your taxes are going down. Well done. But all of those things that, Trump promised and campaigned on, things like no more taxes on Social Security, that's not in there. And Trump wholeheartedly supported this bill. Those things like no taxes on tips, not in there. No taxes on overtime, not in there. What is in there is $880 billion of cuts to Medicaid. Now, some of you are thinking, oh, well, Medicaid is just for slackers and people who don't want to work and that sort of thing. It's also covers the CHIPS program, which is, health insurance for children. And since, we're going for that nationwide abortion ban, we're going to have a lot more of those kids who I guess now will just be born and then get polio and die because they can't get health insurance. And then a lot of you will think that, oh, well, these are just, these filthy Democrats who are getting all of these programs. So let's take a look at something like Kentucky's 5th, right? Kentucky's 5th voted 81% for Donald Trump in this most recent election. They are going to lose 100,000 people off of their total 750,000 off of Medicaid as a result of this bill. Unless, of course, the state of Kentucky can come up with an extra $3.6 billion to fund just that one district's Medicaid. The biggest portion of Kentucky's economy is actually aerospace products that they have in their manufacturing thing, which they currently export to Canada. I really hope we're not trying to mess up our trade with Canada right now. So guys, I don't know how I can say this any louder, but maybe all of us together at this time. The oligarchs who are running the Republican Party do not care about you.
This is what the House is approving tonight. Cut $2 trillion of your services, increase the deficit by $2.8 trillion, and use those $4.8 trillion in tax cuts for the rich.